Hello and welcome to my 14th video on how to create your own minigames. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a soccer minigame. So I already have it built over here. All you really need is these balls. They need to be inside of a folder called balls. And you're going to need two folders for blue goals and red goals, or whatever color your teams are going to be. And then you need these invisible parts here that are going to detect when the ball enters the goal. So, like I said in a few of the comments, this is going to be a team minigame, obviously, but I'm going to need to show you how to do that. So go to your main script. This isn't going to be like the Juggernaut minigame at all. We're going to be actually setting the teams as they teleport. So to do that, we're going to need to start by getting team service. So teams equals game get service teams. Sorry, I said team service, but it's just teams. And after we have that, we can scroll down to where we teleport the player, because this is when we're going to be changing their team. And just above here, where we go to teleport them, we need to insert every team. Now this is something I forgot to explain, but go to Minigame info, and you're going to need this folder here. What's in this folder is just two teams. They're going to be brick color values with the team name and the team color. It's pretty simple. Now what our script's going to do is it's going to create the teams and name them and color them according to these values. So to do that, we got to check if there's a teams folder inside of Minigame info. That way it doesn't try to create teams for minigames like disappearing plates. So I'm going to start by doing local teams folder equals clone.minigame info find first child and teams. So now that we have the teams folder defined here, we're going to need it in a few other places. That's why I have it defined. We do if teams folder, then. So if this folder exists, we're going to loop through it and create a team for each one. Okay, so after you create, we got to loop through each children, all of the children, and then create a team inside of the service. So whatever you defined as teams, that's what you're going to need to insert it into. And then you just set the name and the team color to v.value. And don't forget to add auto assignable equals false, because we don't want people joining the game and then being assigned a team but not put into the minigame. I want it so if you join the game, you're in the lobby on the neutral team. Okay, so now that we have the teams folder, we've got to go down here. Now after you assign teleport, we're going to check for the teams folder again. So is teams folder then. Now we're going to need to choose which team this player is going to go on. That's going to be pretty easy, but I'll need to teach you something you might not know yet called the modulus operator, because I want the teams to be split up evenly, and it's a little difficult to do that with randomization. So if teams folder, then local team equals teams folder get children. And then in here, what's important is what I is, so the index of the loop. What we're going to do here is set it to I %, the number of teams in teams folder, and +1. So now you must be wondering what this % means. Well, basically it just divides the number, this number, by that number, and then gives you the rest, so the remainder. I'll show you an example. If I'm at, let's say, loop 3, and I only have 2 teams, so %2, it should give me 1. And if I do 4, it'll be 0. So make sure you do +1 because there's no index for 0 in children. Also, this will be pretty useful if you have, like, say 4 teams, because we could have player 5 on the first team, we could have player 6 on the second team, player 7 on the third team, and etc. Okay, so now we have the team. Now we just need to assign the team color to the player. So v.teamColor equals team.value. Because don't forget that team is just a member of teams folder, which are brick color values. And after that, just do v.neutral equals false, because we don't want them to be put on the neutral team even though they have a team color. Alright, so now we have the teams, and we gotta check for their spawns, because if we go to teleports, man, I didn't really explain this too well, but if you go to teleports, you can see that I have them separated into 2 models, one for the blue team and one for the red team. The reason why I have them on the opposite nets is because I want blue team to score on that net, and I want red team to score on this net. That's why red team spawns here and blue team spawns here. Okay? So to do that, it's very simple. You could probably figure out how to do this yourself, but if you don't, I'll show you. So local team spawns equals clone.teleports find first child team.name, and I'll add get children because we're not going to need the model at all. And now, since we have the model depending on their team name, we just do teleport equals team spawns get children math.random 1 to the number of team spawns. And we don't need get children here because I already put it inside of here. You would have gotten an error, so make sure not to add get children here. Alright, let's test it out. I'm just going to drag the soccer minigame into server storage. Okay, so I'm on blue team, I spawned on the blue side, and I got an error because of the minigame script. So that's all done so far, I think. No, we're not done yet. So if we go now, the thing is with this is when we're looping through the players, the order will probably always be the same. So that would mean we'll always have the same teams, but we don't want that. So what I want to do is randomize this table by shuffling it. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So go up to your functions. I'm going to go right underneath get players and do function shuffle, and parameter is going to be players. So now just return players, and what we're going to do is loop through the players, then we're going to choose a random index and swap them places. I'll show you. For I in pairs, players do local random index equals math.random 1 to the number of players. And so now we have the random index. We're going to be swapping those two values. So local old value equals v, and players I equals players random index, and players random index equals old value. Alright, so how this works is it chooses a random index to swap it with, then it stores the current value, and then it just swaps them places. So old value will be v. And after that, all we got to do is add shuffle here. And we should have fairly random teams. I can't really test because my computer's buggy, so I can only test with one player at a time right now. So what I'm going to do is just copy the function into the command bar, and then create a table. I'm going to do numbers 1 through 5, then print shuffle table.concat table. Oh shoot, oh that's wrong. Print table.concat shuffle table, and then separate it by a space. And I forgot something. Error in script. Expected symbol new. Oh, maybe I have too many. Yeah, there we go. So you have 4, 2, 1, 3, 5, and if we press it again, we'll always get a random table, which is exactly what we want. So if you don't want to do that little test in the command bar, just make sure you have what I wrote here. It's super simple. You should be able to get it first try. Okay. So there's no way for me to test, since if I'm the first player, I'm always going to end up on team 1, no matter if it's randomized or not. So I'm just going to get straight into scripting the minigame. So go into your minigame script, and what I used was the disappearing plates, or no, I used the race minigame. So just make sure if you use the wrong minigame, just copy the script from race and paste it, and you'll have exactly what I have. So remove minigame.end.touched because we don't need that anymore. And here I'm going to just check when blue and red goal are touched. So blue goal.touched connect function hit. Now I didn't define blue goal yet, so minigame.blueGoal. Okay, so what I want to happen is first we need to check if it's inside the balls folder, because you don't want players jumping in and then dying because their limbs got reparented. So we got to do if hit.parent is equal to minigame.balls, then hit.parent equals minigame.blueGoals. And I'm also going to recolor it. Hit.brickcolor equals brickcolor.new deep blue. Copy that. And just switch blue goals with red goals, and blue goal with red goal. Make sure you put the S's in the right spot. And don't have blue goal and red goal the same name as these folders, because you're going to mess it up pretty bad. Okay, so apparently I have an error because red goal is not a valid member of the minigame. Oh, it's not anchored. Make sure you anchor both of those. Okay, so it looks like they're being colored wrong. So I just, oh right, that's because I didn't recolor it. Why do I have too many game scripts? Okay. And don't forget to change the hit upper color. Otherwise they're always going to end up the same color. Okay. So now we have scoring done whenever a ball rolls into the goal. So now we gotta check who won depending on the score. And that's going to be really easy because we can just check blue goals get children, and that'll give us how many points they scored. It's going to be really simple. So after the timer, because that's when we want to check if they won, I'm going to define red goals as minigame, or the number of minigames, or minigame dot red goals get children, and then do the same thing with blue goals. Okay, so now we just got to make a basic comparison. So if red goals is greater than blue goals, then that would mean red won. And then else if blue goals is greater than red goals, then blue won. And else it was a tie. Okay? So we're gonna make a message. So underscore g dot message red team 1, or I'll just do red 1. The final score was. Now here I'm just going to display which team won first. I'm going to put their points first and the losing team's points second. So red goals and blue goals. Alright. Copy that, put it into where the blue won, change it to blue 1, blue goals, and red goals. Okay. So now you're probably wondering, well, Ice, how do we get to check if they won or not? Well, we're going to set a variable here called winner, and it's going to be equal to nil by default, just in case it's a tie. So winner equals red. Oh, I forgot something. Let's go up here. We got to get the teams again. So teams equals game get service, team service, or just teams. And then define blue as teams find first child blue, and red equals teams find first child red. So now we have both our teams defined by their names, and we're just going to set winner as red and blue. Winner equals red, and winner equals blue. Then if there's no winner, I'm going to make a message. It was a tie. No, both teams tied at whatever the score was. Both teams tied at blue goals points. Alright. So let's test it out. Make sure everything works. So I'm on the blue team. I'm just going to score on myself a couple of times. I'm going to go score on blue. Hopefully I could get a third one in, otherwise we're going to get a tie. Alright. Oh, there's no win, but there's no wait for the win. So just add that here, wait 3. Should be enough time for them to read what the score was. I'm just going to keep scoring on myself. So it'll say red won by about 4 points by the time I'm done. We'll make it 5, no 4. So red won, the final score was 4-0. But as you can see, I still lost because I didn't script that part yet. 3, 2, 1. So now we got to check if they won or not. If they didn't win, I want it to say lost beside their name. And if they won, I'm going to make it say won. Okay, so if winner, because we've got to check if the team exists. Because if they tied, I want both teams to lose. If you don't want that, you could script it another way. If you want it to be a tie, then they both win. Go ahead. It's your mini games. But I want them to lose if they tied. So if not winner, or v dot value dot team color is not equal to winner dot team color. Then, so if there's no winner or they're not on the winning team, then they lose. Else, we're going to do functions add winner v dot value. And I just got to remove something from the add winner function because I want them to respawn after this because it doesn't teleport them. So go into your functions module inside of this minigame and remove the part that says local child equals minigame.minigameinfo.temp contestants and the player.name. Get rid of that part. Just add them into the winners table. So now, once we test, I should get a message saying I won here. It'll get the score right. And I'm going to test it out twice because I want to be able to tie, make sure I lose. And I'm scoring on the wrong net. So I'm going to try scoring 4 points. Nope, not going to happen. Well, I tried. So red won, final score was 3-2. I lost. Going to try winning this time. So blue won, score was 4-0, and I won. Perfect. And for this round, I'm just going to tie it at 0 points. There's going to be nothing in the goals. Hopefully, oh no, that ball's going to, okay, both teams tied at 0 points. Perfect. So I lost. And I think that's all for this video. But there's something I want to fix real quickly. While I was testing the game out with some fans, I found there was an error while getting trails. I think it was trails, either that or it was tools. But it was causing loading to break, so they would lose the points. So fix that. Go to the equip trail function, and we got to make sure that their character exists. So I have trail and trail from shop. So player.character added wait. That should do it, hopefully. Oh yeah, there's another thing too. If we go to our Juggernaut minigame, I forgot to set auto assignable, I'm pretty sure, to the teams. So jug team dot auto assignable equals false. We want to do this for all of our team minigames because we don't want them joining the game and being put on a team that wins and then being told that they lost because they weren't actually part of the minigame. So that's it. All of our minigames should work now. And this super minigame will be coming out very soon. But I haven't showed you how to make that yet, so I'm going to delete that. That's all for this video. In the next one, like I just said, I'll be showing you how to create a sweeper minigame. So it's like that wipeout minigame where they're all standing in a circle and that sweeper spins and knocks them off or kills them. I'll decide by then. But that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.